It really costs a lot of money if what you have is a serious issue.
Foundations can be very expensive to repair, or they could be very little, and the person may think that it's bad, but it's not bad. And I realize I'm kind of going around in circles on this answer, but yes, to get to the point of your question, yes, it could cost a lot. And if it does, then a person's got to figure out how to pay for it, right?
Hmm. I mean, I know I'm not an expert, but you talk about this all the time. How do they pay for these repairs?
It's a good question. Some people are blindsided when they hear a big number, whatever that big number is to them. Anything over probably $30,000 is considered a fairly big number, unless you're in a very expensive house and it's a big house and it has a lot of issues. But certainly, if you've got to tell somebody that their repairs are $100,000, that's a lot of money to anybody. And no one has that sitting around usually. Some people can tap a retirement account or something like that, but they normally can't. So, most people will need to rely on some sort of financing. They'll either have financing available through the foundation repair contractor, and it would often be an unsecured loan that could be paid over, say, 5 or 10 years, or they may even have something promotional for a customer. But that would be option number one. Option number two would be potentially to do a HELOC and use the proceeds that come out of that to pay for the repairs. And a HELOC is available only to people who have enough equity in their house to be able to get that loan, but that is often a lower interest loan and it's a good source as well. Or if they know somebody, or perhaps hard money. You had brought this up earlier, Penny. Tell me a little bit more about that again. You thought, what?
Well, I know that we flip houses, and so we use hard money all the time when we flip a house. So if I have $50,000 in repairs, I'll sometimes use hard money. So I may use my own money to buy the actual property, and then I'll do hard money for 40 to $60,000 in repairs. But I can see how if you have this house, and let's say you're going to sell your house and you're not going to keep it, that it would be a good idea to offer your house in the best condition. So if you can do hard money, which would be maybe 10 to 12% interest on it, and it's something that's going to be 3 maximum 6 months down the road, that's a really good thing to do. And I think that these hard money lenders too will also wrap that into the sale of the house so that the person who you borrowed the money from will get paid out of the proceeds. And I think that might be a pretty good idea if you end up having to sell.
Yeah, hard money lenders. It's its own. You might call it private money. They do have very specific criteria as to what they want in regards to repayment. They usually like short periods of time, 6 to 12 months is usually the typical. So if an investor is buying the house, they can use hard money to do the foundation repairs. If it's a homeowner who wants to sell the house, then you're right. They want to do the repairs beforehand because then it makes the value of the house higher than if they have to sell it in poor condition.
Mhm.
If you are a homeowner and you're just staying in your home, hard money is probably not a good option.
Well,
Although,
unless you can come up with the money in 4 to 6 months or a
sure,
year or
yeah, yeah,
whatever.
you might have a CD that's coming due or something like that that you can apply towards it.
Well, I think sometimes people find that they're going to have this huge repair, and maybe they go to family or something like that, and the person says, "Well, I can get it for you now, but I could 4 or 5 months from now," which kind of leads me to my next question. So my next question is, what does someone do if they can't get all the repairs done? Could there be more expensive down the road?
Yeah, that's a good question. I guess it depends on whether the person uses a band-aid to kind of get them just by a couple of years for the repair and then have to have more work done. Um, if you're going to do a comprehensive repair, then most of the time there is not more work to be done down the road. But many people cannot afford to do the full comprehensive repair, so they will do it in stages, which means that you fix the worst of it now. But might you have something more to do down the road a few years from now or maybe 10 years from now? Yes. So all of that decision is based on the experts that you're talking to and how good they are at guiding you through this.
Okay, let's say you have a foundation inspection done by a structural engineer and a foundation repair contractor or a home inspector, and you find out that the house has foundation issues. Now what?
Well, you've got to figure out a way to pay for the repairs that have been suggested, and you probably want a second opinion. But this is a huge issue for most homeowners because these repairs can be, well, anywhere from $5,000, which would be very minor, up through several $100,000. And so people have to figure out, what are they going to do? Are they going to repair the whole thing? Are they going to do it in stages? Does it all really need to be done? There's just a whole host of questions that have to be asked and answered before you can decide on that.
Um, I mean, I know that I'm not an expert, but you talk about this all the time. How does a person pay for these foundation repairs? What are the options?
Yeah, well, most people do not have the amount of money that it takes to do a repair just sitting aside in savings or in liquid money that they want to be able to use for the repair, because usually they're caught off guard. So oftentimes there are financing companies that will lend for these repairs because they are important repairs and they're not optional types of things. So that's one approach. The second approach is to use what's called a HELOC, and a HELOC is a home equity line of credit. It's provided by the bank, maybe that has your loan on the mortgage, or maybe it's a bank that you do business with. And that does increase the amount of money that a person owes on their home. But a line of credit allows them to be able to draw from that based on the amount of equity that's left in their house after their mortgage. So you can't always use it if you're not qualified for a HELOC or you owe more than the value of the house, then a HELOC would not be available. But many times a foundation repair contractor will have a financing source sitting aside ready to be able to lend for that.
So, so, um, what does someone do if they can't get all the repairs done? Could there like be bigger expenses down the road? Should they be looking at paying interest on private money at 10 or 12% to do it? Like, what could really happen down the road with some of these repairs? Should they just kind of, suck it up, if you will, and like find the resources to do it a lot of times? Like, what can happen?
Uh, so, yeah, good questions. When the person decides on the repair contractor that they're going to use to do the work, uh, you need to, the homeowner or the building owner or the structure owner, if it's commercial, or the house, if it's residential, what they need to ask the repair contractor is this a Band-Aid? Is it a permanent repair? Will I have to do more in the future? Those are all really important questions because if you're trying to fit it into a budget, and let's say the repairs suggested are $40,000 and you only have $10,000 to be able to put against it, is that enough to do at least a partial repair? And then could the work be done in stages? Oftentimes it can be. Oftentimes it can be done to fit a person's budget to begin with, but then there will be additional repairs that have to be done. So Penny, you've been with me a lot these last 7 years, heard me talk about customer
I'm his
stories.
wife.
Yeah, that's my wife, Penny. Uh, about foundation repairs, the anxiety that people have, and so forth. And you brought up some really good questions the other day, and I thought we should probably do a little podcast or question and answer on this. So I'm going to hand the camera over to you, and if you want to, go ahead and ask away.
Okay, perfect. Okay, so here is my first question. Let's say that you have a foundation inspection done by a structural engineer or a repair contractor. Or maybe a home inspector looks at your house and then you
Hmm.
find out that you've got some kind of a foundation issue.
Right.
What do you do next?
Well, if you find out that you have a foundation, you're probably going to want to get a second opinion, first of all. Because if one person tells you, now a structural engineer is not going to tell you the amount of money that it's going to be to do the repair. It would only be a foundation repair contractor or possibly a home inspector who could tell you that. So once you have determined how much a proposal is going to be, you're probably going to want to get a second opinion. And that second opinion will either agree with what the first person said or not. And from there, then you can decide whether you really need to have a lot done, a little bit done, with, of course, with advice from professionals.
So couldn't it really cost a lot of money if there's like a serious issue, like $100,000 or I don't know,
Uh,
a
it,
lot.
it could.